Hi, just wanted to answer a question. Question is, could you speak a little on how to interpret what feels like bits of realization that come through the contact with deeper reality, despite the mind reinterpreting them? How do you live out those realizations once the direct experience has passed? Yeah, the mind will always do that until it learns its space to stay quiet, not to interfere, not to interpret, not to take over, right? So when we get in touch with deeper reality by grace, through practice, through really doing whatever we're doing, whether it's meditation, self-inquiry, qigong, plant medicine, anything that allows us to turn inward and start questioning and start re-exploring who the hell we are. Who are we? What is this? What is life? What is truth? What is this suffering we're going through? How do we get out of it? How can we live freer? So all of that brings us back into the depths of who and what we are. And by grace, actually doing some of the practices, by grace, we end up experiencing these satori's, these moments, these gifts of like, aha, of no mind, beyond body, the void, emptiness, isness, spaciousness, all existing. I exist. However you experience that, tapping into the permanence, the foundation, the always already awake presence that is here, which is, by the way, a natural state. It's just that we got so habituated to be exactly with that, the interpreting voice, the story maker, right? The defender, the complainer, the shamer, the judge, whatever it is that is here, that noise. So how do we live out the direct experience of realization, even though the mind makes a story out of it? I would say just watch. There's a greater invitation to be even more so present. Watch the mechanism of the body mind wanting to return there to what was experienced. Wow, that was free. I want more of that. And don't get me wrong, there is two ways we can understand that. And one is like, I'm completely drop everything because there's nowhere to get. But that's not what I'm saying. It's our attitude. There's nothing there to get to this idea of oneself, the me that is trying to get somewhere. That doesn't arrive anywhere. And probably in that direct experience that you had, that touching the deeper reality, you probably experienced that. The me is not there, is nowhere to be found. The me just collapses because all it was just a thought, a reaction, a body-mind survival mechanism. that was made into a story. So coming back, how do we live with the direct experience and make it a lived, embodied, new, integrated, deeper knowing of who and what we are. It's just that. Watch the story making machine. And that doesn't mean we need to resist that. We need to block it. We need to violently stop it. It's just going to make more noise. All it is, perhaps you can live with a deeper question. Okay, this happened. What do I need to see? What do I need to feel? And how do I integrate that, embody that, whatever has been seen, instead of make it into this new story of me and what happened to me? So the only thing I can give an example is from actual direct experience that was lived here. And how I see it, every single satori was like a building block. It was like an exercise, as if the system, my system could only remember, it could only hold itself to this kind of a glimpse, like whatever, 1 day, 2 hours, 30 minutes, 10 minutes, and a momentaneous aha, whatever it is, but it was practicing this expansion, no longer being this one pointed on thought merged with thought. All of a sudden it's like, boom, back again. Boom, back. So I was doing this inhalation, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling until the system, my nervous system and my pranic system and my physical system and all my system were able to catch up and were able to allow deeper and deeper letting go. Through fear, even though fear might have been there, in the first glimpses, learning how to be with fear, but still moving through with a curiosity to know the truth, allows your system to learn, your nervous system to learn how to be with deep existential fear and still surrender. So all it is, this deeper touch in reality in whatever way, is the deeper and deeper invitation to surrender. Deeper and deeper invitation to relax the interpreting machine. Deeper and deeper leaning into the mystery that we are, into the unknown. And with each tiny glimpse of coming closer, these realizations that we have of deeper reality, it's also building and building more trust, to a point where trust doesn't even make sense. That word trust is no longer, it has no longer a meaning there, because the more we have those glimpses, the more we know that we are that. What we are afraid of, we are that. So if you start knowing yourself deeper and deeper, that you are the infinite, that you are the void, that you are the emptiness, that you are the space. Then next time it happens, you no longer scream and kick, but you just relax and surrender. And that could be re-experienced very easily if you do plant medicine. First time, second time, might be terror, maybe even third and fourth and so on, until you learn, you get out of it whole and complete, perhaps with a lot of realizations, revelations, ahas. Nothing gets destroyed. The same thing with KI. You learn how to sit with intense sensations and emotions. You learn that nothing destroys you. You learn you can lean in so deeply in, become possessed by fear, become possessed by anger, rage, hatred, shame, deep, deep shame. And nothing destroys you. Nothing can touch you. Nothing is internally truly unsafe. Yes, externally in the physical world, yes. Our bodies are very vulnerable. We need to watch how we cross the road. But internally, we'll start knowing and trusting the experience of. So, coming back to the question, so what do we do with these deep moments of realization, even though the mind goes and makes out a story out of it? I would say it's just a natural process. Just watch your mind, watch what it does, watch from what is the angle from where you're telling your friends about it. It's because you want to be recognized as the experiencer of spiritual states, or you're just processing it. You're just deeply processing it by actually being at awe with what happened and sharing that. Because if you're processing it, you might observe that you might have told it once, twice, maybe 3 times, maybe even for a year. But then it gets dropped because it's no longer relevant. Because by then, you probably, if you're earnest on your path, you probably had already other experiences, other depths revealed to you, other ahas and other moments of deep calmness, deep contentment, no matter what. That peace beyond all understanding. You probably by then already had some deeper experiences, or the same, or confirming. And all it is I'm saying, our nervous system learning each time to relax deeper and deeper and let go deeper and deeper into I fully trust. To a point of even begging to stay there, because we can no longer bear the separation. The more we enter the spaciousness, the more we practice whatever it is, KI, being present, being mindful, mantras, meditation, and have these glimpses over and over, there comes a time where it's just, we can no longer bear the contracting back. And we're ready to fully jump off the cliff. into the unseen arms of freedom, where there's nothing to hold on to. Because as soon as we grab onto something, we created a me separate from what's happening. Because it's an always constant flow, flowing, flowing, moving, 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 moving. So grasping onto the moving means we gotta lose touch with the unmoved. So the invitation of touching deeper truth without constantly keeping it as just an experience that happened 30 years ago. Oh yeah, 30 years ago. I was meditating and I just became nothing and everything at the same time. By now, this is so unreal. It's just words. So watch not to do that. And just let the deep realization, whatever, even just that tiny, tiny moment you touched upon, whether it's just a glimpse of 5 minutes of no thought, or just a connection with nature. I don't know what all this is truly that. So whatever it is, make it alive. Let it teach you. What is it here to teach you? Deeper surrender, connection, communication with life, with universe, with source. Poetry. Maybe you write a poetry about it. Maybe you write a blog about it. Maybe you create a video. Let the awe of that be the processing, however, whatever creative outlet it finds to share, because it wants to be shared, that's for sure. But it doesn't have to be shared for 30 years, that's for sure. Because then it's not alive anymore. It's just dead information. So let it be a motivation to continue digging, to continue practicing whatever you're doing, to continue sitting on that cushion, to continue inquiring, to continue doing body mind mirror, and to continue repeating your mantra, to continue being curious about life, about reality, about what's true. Let that be the fuel. And that is how to really, truly, truly get everything out of it, because it's a gift. The same thing if we keep our seeking alive. If it's not a dead thing to arrive to enlightenment post, if it's an aliveness in you, an urge for truth, wow, lucky you. Use it. What is it doing in you? Is it bringing you to places of just bliss? Then I would say, is it bringing you into places of complete distraction, destroying everything you thought was real? Oh yeah, you're on the right path. It's truly alive in you now. Yeah, stay curious. Thank you for the question. I hope somehow this was the right kind of sharing that you were looking for. And if not, you know, this is what is alive here. Okay, much love.